Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahabushai, Bahasham, Barakahakwadash, Barakathum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahabushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule and teach well. In peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure to the end. This is the Brother Ra'aya coming at you with another lesson, and I'll be profiling an article from apnews.com titled Emboldened Manosphere Accelerates Threats and Demeaning Language Towards Women After U.S. Election. In the days after the presidential election, Sadie Perez began carrying pepper spray with her around campus. Her mom also ordered her and her sister a self-defense kit that included keychain spikes, a hidden knife key, and a personal alarm. It's a response to an emboldened fringe of right-wing manosphere influencers who have seized on Republican Donald Trump's presidential win to justify and amplify misogynistic derision and threats online. And, while that is the case with some groups of people, what we are seeing is men waking up to this false ideology of feminism and women's rights and equal rights that Esau Edom, the so-called white man, has set up in society, which, as we can clearly see, has destroyed society because, contrary to popular belief, there is an order to things. A man at the head of the house, the woman as a wife and a mother, and the children, subject to the woman, which is really subject to the father, because the father teaches the woman the right way, and the woman teaches the children the ways of the father. And what does that build? Strong families, strong communities, and people that see when a government or other power structure is going against, the interests of them or their families, they buck up against it. But with all these different things that the elites of these Edomites or so-called white people, such as the Rothschilds and Rockefellers, have pushed, what has it led to? Broken families, single-parent households, whores running around, alphabet people running around, and society on the verge of collapse. And these truly are the times we're living in, the times of Esau Edom's, downfall, and then the righting of the ship, so to speak, when the children of Israel, or the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as they're called today, are going to be back in power and running this planet under, the laws, statutes, and commandments of the scriptures, which includes, a biblical family with a man at the head and a man in his masculine role and a woman in her feminine role. But now I'm going to jump to Isaiah chapter 32. Let's start at verse 7. The instruments also of the churl are evil. And let's get that word churl. It's H3596, kilae. And in the outline of biblical usage, it reads scoundrel or knave. And the Edomite is the biggest scoundrel out here. He is the wicked that the Bible speaks of, and he does everything completely contrary to the scriptures, which is completely contrary to righteousness, hence why everything is out of order. The instruments also of the churl are evil. He deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words. And, feminism and the welfare state are those wicked devices that have destroyed the poor being you Israelites, because who's been the main victim of feminism, the welfare state, equal rights, so-called, and all that? The so-called Black, Latino, and Native American community. You've got these so-called black women being strong and independent, even though they rely on the government for those welfare benefits that have, kicked the man out of the house, which has led to what? Broken families and broken communities. Hey, those wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words. And now it's starting to trickle to these other heathen nations out here. Hence why you've seen a rise in the so-called red pill, manosphere, and MGTOW, where men aren't taking it anymore. And when society does collapse and we're in the midst of Jacob's trouble, you women are going to be some of the main targets out here, because you women have used this system that Esau Edom has set up for you to just completely run men through the dirt. Child support, putting men in jail, lying on men, getting these cushy jobs and positions above men so you could look down on men, etc., etc. Even when the needy speaketh right, and you have the prophets, the men of the Lord, first and foremost out here, going through the Bible, showing who that churl is and how his wicked devices have destroyed our people. But what? The majority of our people, or especially our women, go along with the wicked devices of the churl because they receive those liberal things from him. So they scoff at our words and throw it behind their backs, and we're looked at as public enemy number one. And then even Israelites that aren't in the truth but are in the so-called, manosphere or whatever, they try to tell our women the same things, but what are they looked at? Misogynists, hateful, all that stuff. But like I've been saying, when society does collapse, hey, all this resentment that men have built up towards you is going to, wash you away like a great flood, and Esau Edom isn't going to have your back. You're about to have the biggest rug pull underneath your feet in human history. Verse 9, rise up ye women that are at ease, living off these wicked devices of the churl. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. And we're first and foremost speaking to you women of the 12 tribes. Give ear unto my speech through his prophets. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. And that vintage is this government welfare state that benefits you, feminism, these lucrative jobs you get, being able to call 911 for any little thing. Hey, that vintage is going to fail, and the gathering, your help shall not come. Tremble ye women that are at ease, be troubled ye careless ones. Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. So with the prophets telling you Israelite women out here of these terrible things to come, you should be in a state of mourning right now, casting off that feminist boss bitch mindset and trying to get back into your feminine, becoming an Israelite woman again, and learning the skills to please your man if you have one, or what? Be in a position to where when Jacob's trouble takes place, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah is going to guide you to a man of the Lord to protect you. But for the majority of our women, hey, they're going to ride this sinking ship all the way to the bottom of the ocean. Verse 12, they shall lament for the teats, the lucrative jobs, the welfare benefits, these simps and Captain Save-A-Hoes out here, 911, for the pleasant fields and for the fruitful vine. Upon the land of my people shall come up thorns and briers. Yeah, upon all the houses of joy in the joyous city. Terrible times are quickly coming down the pike. And what we're reading about in that article, where there's been a so-called uptick in misogynistic mindsets and violent threats towards women, is just an appetizer for things to come, because it's going to go from, words on the internet to physical actions on the streets. But let me see. And at the end, hey, you women are going to see that, this lie you've been sold of feminism and being equal to a man and really thinking you're better than a man was was to your detriment. This is Isaiah 32, verse 5. The vile person shall no more be called liberal, nor the churl, that scoundrel, Esau Edom, said to be bountiful, because when that bountiful vintage fails, hey, you're going to be asked out here, and you're truly going to see whether you are a strong, independent woman or a boss bitch. But let's get back to this article. Many have appropriated a 1960s child deletion rights rallying cry declaring "Your body, my choice" at women online and on college campuses. And when a man, takes on a wife, hey, the wife's body is her body, but it's her husband's choice. And that's biblical as well. This is Ecclesiasticus or Sirach in the Apocrypha, chapter 36, verse 24. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, and a possession is something that you own and take care of. So what? He that begetteth a wife, your body, beginneth a possession, my choice. But when I'm saying this, I'm not saying, that, women are going to become sex slaves that are going to be, chained to a boiler in a basement somewhere. No, when everything works in order, the woman is a help like unto himself and a pillar of rest. When a woman fulfills her feminine role as a wife and a mother, hey, it's a beautiful thing. You've got the man that goes out and builds up things, creates a home for his family, and then the woman takes care of the home, takes care of the man, takes care of the children, which, when the children of Israel are back in power, everything is going to be set aright. For many women, the words represent a worrying harbinger of what might lie ahead, as some men perceive the election results as a rebuke of reproductive rights and women's rights. And hey, many women are worrying that it's a harbinger of what might lie ahead. Back in Isaiah 32. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Terrible times for you women out here, and women's rights and reproductive rights. Hey, that's a part of the vintage that's going to fail, because you're going to get that left-handed version of your body, my choice. The things that you do fear, being taken by men and raped, forcefully raped. How's it go? Outside of your choice. The fact that I feel like I have to carry around pepper spray like this is sad, said Perez, a 19-year-old political science student in Wisconsin. Women want and deserve to feel safe. Isabella Francis Wright, Director of Technology and Society at the Institute of Strategic Dialogue, a think tank focusing on polarization and extremism, said she had seen a very large uptick in a number of types of misogynistic rhetoric immediately after the election, including some extremely violent misogyny. I think many progressive women have been shocked by how quickly and aggressively this rhetoric has gained traction, she said. The phrase, "your body, my choice," has been large. I'll skip that. It just goes into who they attribute that saying to, which, doesn't matter. Mary Ruth Ziegler, a law professor at the University of California, Davis School of Law, said the phrase transforms the iconic child deletion rights slogan into an attack on women's rights to autonomy and a personal threat. The implication is that men should have control over or access to sex with women, said Ziegler, a reproductive rights expert. And that's how it was back in the old world, the ancient times. When a man begotteth a wife, he begotteth a possession. The man had control over his wife, just as before she became his wife, her father had control over her. And a man that truly cares about his women, what? They want the best for him. And that includes what? Not allowing you to, give into your emotions and do what you want to do, which, as we've seen from those liberal devices of the churl, giving these women's the freedom to do whatever they do, they pick what? Horrific choices. They, for the most part, they lay down with, men that mean them no well and become single mothers. They abuse their bodies with overmuch liberty. They become alcoholics and drug addicts. And a lot of women out here are on antidepressants due to all the men they've slept with. And then, you can look up reports they've done showing that ever since women, got so-called equal rights through feminism to go into the workplace and be like men, their happiness has declined year over year. So again, those liberal devices, the vile person is no more being called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful, because everything he pushed as equality and progressivism and to make life better has really just made life worse. What does it say in Proverbs 29 verse 2? When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. It's just a lot of you women have given into those wicked devices and deceitful words and think that just because you're able to do whatever you want, that means you're free. You're free to destroy yourselves. Women on TikTok have reported seeing it inundate their comment sections. The slogan also made its way offline, with boys chanting it in middle schools or men directing it at women on college campuses, according to the Institute for Strategic Dialogue report and social media reports. One mother said her daughter heard the phrase on her college campus 3 times, the report said. School districts in Wisconsin and Minnesota have sent notices about the language to parents. T-shirts emblazoned with the phrase were pulled off Amazon. Perez said she had seen men respond to shared Snapchat stories for their college class with, "Your body, my choice." "It makes me feel disgusted and infringed upon," she said. "It feels like going backwards." Misogynistic attacks have been part of the social media landscape for years, but Frances Wright and others who track online extremism and disinformation said language glorifying violence against women or celebrating the possibility of their rights being stripped away has spiked since the elections. And again, it's because men are getting back into that spirit of being men. They're sick of this society treating them like second-class citizens. And all these, red pill and MGTOW talking points have started to seep into the mainstream because it's becoming an issue out here. When men don't have families or anything to fight for in society, they tune out, and society collapses because of it. Online declarations for women to get back in the kitchen or to repeal the 19th, a reference to the constitutional amendment that gave women the right to vote, have spread rapidly. And when you look into, the origins of feminism and women's rights and all these different programs to make women equal to men, it goes back to the Rockefellers. And there was a famous conversation between a movie producer, and I'm trying to remember his name. It's on the tip of my tongue. Let me think. Aaron Russo. between Aaron Russo and his friend Nick Rockefeller. Nick Rockefeller asked him, so what do you think feminism and women's rights was about? And Aaron Russo said, oh, you know, giving women's rights and, making them equal to men and giving them, freedom. And Nick Russo told him, you're an idiot. We did that to create a new taxpayer in the system, because when you've got the man working and the woman working, you get double the money, and that leaves the children to the auspices of these government run schools, the TV, and what these tablets and the phones with social media, so that they can pump their propaganda into their heads, which what do they pump? Feminism, the alphabet lifestyle, progressivism, liberalism, all these things that aren't conducive to a strong society, because they want to break down a strong society, because it's that much more easy to control. In the days surrounding the election, the extremism think tank found that the top 10 posts on X calling for repeal of the 19th Amendment received more than 4 million views collectively. A man holding a sign with the words "Women are property" sparked an outcry at Texas State University. The man was not a student, faculty, or staff, and was escorted off campus, according to the university's president. The university is exploring potential legal responses, he said. Anonymous rape threats have been left on the TikTok videos of women denouncing the election results. And on the far-flung reaches of the web, 4chan forums have called for grape squads and the adoption of policies in The Handmaid's Tale, a dystopian book and TV series depicting the dehumanization and brutalization of women. But that's it with this article. But as I said earlier, all what we're reading about here, with an uptick in misogynistic talking points and even talks of threats against women, is just an appetizer for the real thing that is going to come when that vintage fails and you women are going to be asked out here. So it would behoove you Israelite women that have come across the truth, the words of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, to do whatever you can to get back into your natural role, so that the Most High will send a man of the Lord your way to be that hedge for you for Jacob's trouble. But as for the majority of our women, hey, when Esau Edom's system goes down, you're going down with it. And best believe this system is going down. But let me see. All right, I'm going to go to Isaiah chapter 24. I'm going to read verses 14 to 18. And we use these verses to get on these false prophets and wicked teachers of these other Israelite groups, which a lot of them have made deals with Esau to pollute the doctrine and lead our people astray, as well as, you Israelites in the world, you celebrities and political figures that have made deals with Esau to lead our people astray. But hey, we can apply it to you women as well, because you women are heavily invested in this system and want to uphold it to the detriment of you and your own people. They've got that saying that the greatest agent of white supremacy is the so-called black woman, and that the so-called black woman is the white man's pit bull. But this is Isaiah 28:14. Wherefore, hear the word of Yahweh, ye scornful men that rule this people which is in Jerusalem. These so-called leaders that are leading our people astray. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death. You've made these covenants or deals with Esau to, get benefits from him, but you have to push his agenda, which destroys our people. And with hell are we at agreement. And again, you women, the majority of you Israelite women have made that covenant with death as well. You're free and liberated and get to lord over men. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us, For we have made lies our refuge, those wicked devices of the churl to destroy the poor, and under falsehood have we hid ourselves. And, a lot of you wicked Israelites out here and you women think that just because Esau's giving you the goodies now, that when all hell breaks loose, he's going to continue to give you the goodies. But just look at the history of this man. Look at the so-called Native Americans or Gadites. He made all those treaties to break them. And every time this devil has, made an alliance with somebody, once he got all he could out of it, he threw them under the bus. So what makes you think you're different? And there's that famous quote from that devil, Henry Kissinger: to be an enemy of America is dangerous, but to be a friend is deadly. Look at Vietnam, look at Afghanistan, the list goes on and on. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believeth shall not make haste. And that tried, precious cornerstone is Yahushai, the Son of the Most High, whom the world ignorantly refers to as so-called Jesus, who is our intercessor and intermediary back to the Holy Father, Yahweh, whom the elect are cleaving unto. And it's either in 1 Corinthians 11, or 2 Corinthians 11, where it says, the head of Yahushai is the Father, Yahweh, but the head of the man is Yahushai, and the head of the woman is the man, and then the head of the children are the woman. So believing in Yahushai is believing in that biblical righteous order with what? The man at the head, who's going to be following after the ways of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, and the woman being underneath the man and following after the ways of the man, which are the ways of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, and teaching them to the children. So a family with everybody fulfilling their roles, and everything works perfectly. Verse 17, judgment also will I lay to the line, and righteousness to the plummet. And the hail shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and the waters shall overflow the hiding places. When Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai brings about these great judgments of Jacob's trouble to destroy this system, to cause that vintage to fail for you women out here, and then that ultimate hell and overflowing waters are going to be those nuclear missiles that are going to hit this place. And your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then ye shall be trodden down by it. Like I've been saying throughout the video, that covenant of death you women have made with Esau, with feminism and the social welfare system and so-called equal rights, is going to be disannulled. And you're going to see that this vile person and that churl that was liberal and gave you these benefits, they were only a benefit to your death. This is Jeremiah 31, verse 22. How long wilt thou go, O thou backsliding daughter, you wicked Israelites that have made those covenants with death with Esau and are just continue to be rebellious against your power, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. For Yahweh hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass or be over a man. What does that sound like? Feminism, which only came about in these last couple of decades to around 100 years ago, which has completely destroyed our communities. Isaiah 3, verse 12. As for my people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, children are their oppressors. These Edomites who are younger than us, because from whose loins did Esau come out of? Isaac's. And these Edomites are like children. And what is a child? He is rebellious and wants to do what he wants to do, which is exactly what Esau is. He wants to do his own wicked thing and not follow after the laws, statutes, and commandments. And women rule over them. I have created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the ways of thy path, those covenants of death and those wicked words and lying words of the churl which have destroyed our people, especially our women. And when Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai brings in that great flood and that hail to sweep away these refuge of lies, you're going to be swept away with it. Close it out in Micah chapter 7, verse 10. Then she that is mine enemy shall see it. And the Israelite woman, especially that so-called black woman, you can say she's the number 2 enemy of the Israelite man in this system, with Esau being number 1. And when these calamities come to pass, these women are going to damn sure see it, because they're going to be the main targets of the violence out here, because they are the weaker vessel. And shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is Yahweh thy power? And a lot of brothers have testimonies out here of women that they used to deal with, being complete demons to them and leaving them and screwing them over and then talking shit about the truth. Hey, you believe in this Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, but look at you. You don't got nothing. You ain't shit. Shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is Yahweh thy power? Mine eyes shall behold her. And all you women out here that have screwed over a man of the Lord, he's going to see your judgment in person. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets, trodden down as the mud, receiving that horrific judgment, which for the majority of you women out there is rightfully deserved. So that's it with this video. With this video, I hope you sincere Akim and Akwath were edified. Just keep strong. We are almost out of this final wicked captivity of the heathen nations, chiefly of the Edomites. And as always, I'm going to say Abad Babal, Kwam Yasharala, and until next time, Shalom.